I decided to do a bonus story for this week. This one is called Pretty Pup, a silver story. It takes place in the same universe as my other werewolf story, Silver, and it is about the same werewolves, but I've expanded the story a little bit. It took a couple of days to write, and I had to rewrite the ending because, well, I think you'll see. It's better this way. Anyway, let's get started. You have to learn control, pup, Edmund said. A big man, at least 6'3", 240 pounds, chief of the Moonfangs tribe. As it is, I'm not letting you leave until after the full moon. Not after what happened last month. I don't know if I can, Cory said. We were at the compound, Wolf Hollow, the huge wilderness section owned by the Compton family. Ancestral tribal leaders of the moon cursed in this area. I've only known Cory for a little more than a month, and already he's changed my life. It's daylight. The second full moon is tonight, Edmund said. It's the easiest time to shift. We're going to keep on trying, at least until it's time to lock you in the cage. I stood at the porch railing of the Compton estate house with 5 members of the tribe and 1 mate, Steph. They hadn't decided how to classify me. Mate? Friend? Ally? Outsider? Not a werewolf, or the moon cursed as they call it. $50 says Pretty Pup can't do it, Jack said. You're on, Steph said. She's Edmund's mate and mom of the tribe. She's not one of the moon cursed either, but nobody gave her any trouble. Edmund would rip them to pieces if they tried. And she's the only cook. What about you, Lucas? Care to be in on the action? $50 is too rich for me, I said, but Cory can do it, like he did at the amusement park last month. Pretty Pup is a crippled wolf, Gavin said, a lean, tall man with an old scar that extended from his lip to his eye. I haven't met a pup who can't shift at this stage. It's about time for him to transform. I'm in. $50 says he can. Cory, you can do it, I yelled. Cory stared at me and gave me that half grin I loved. What if he doesn't learn to control it? I asked. He lives in a cage, Gavin said, chomping his jaws together. Pretty Pup's boyfriend gets to feed him meat scraps. Maybe Pretty Pup's boyfriend should choose another wolf, one that can perform. You're a jerk, I said. Gavin came right up to me. His breath smelled of jerky. You're not even a mate, and you have an attitude. I can break your arm right now, and you can't stop me. Gavin, back off, Steph said. He's a guest. Treat him like one. Mommy has to protect you, Gavin said. A weak little thing like Pretty Pup deserves a weak little thing like you. Gavin, Cory yelled. Leave him alone. What can you do about it, Pretty Pup? Pretty Pup. A slap. Steph hit Gavin. That's enough. Cory's a pup. Lucas is his friend. They both show more control than you. Maybe you need the cage tonight. A snarl came from Gavin's throat. Watch it, woman. You're fragile. Cory stood before me. I didn't even see him move. Back off, Gavin, he growled. Or what, Pretty Pup? You don't fight pups, Edmund said. Don't get him raging. It took him 3 tranks last time. Ask Jack. Pup has a temper, Jack said. He leaned against the railing, drinking his beer as if this were an everyday occurrence. He'll take you down easy. $50. Pretty Pup can't even shift, Gavin said. The weakling cost me $50. I claim his mate as mine, and Pretty Pup can't stop. Cory had had enough. His eyes became silver orbs, and he growled. The muscles on his back knotted. He punched Gavin directly mid-chest. The bone cracked. Gavin flew back, hitting a railing and breaking through it. Hands off my mate, Cory yelled. No one moved. No one said anything. They were fighting over me? People don't do that. This is the 21st century. Gavin lay on the broken beam, a fist print in his chest that slowly healed. He snarled, his brows lowered. Then his fists clenched and he rose into a crouching position. One hand felt the indent in his chest. The other tightened so hard that his claws drew blood. Claws? His eyes turned silver like the moonlight Cory hated. Gavin smiled, his grin feral as his teeth lengthened into canines. Saliva dripped from his mouth as it slowly extended into that of a wolf. Gavin shed his clothes, and deep gray fur grew across his body. His bones cracked, flinched, lengthened. His nails on both feet and hands became yellow, long daggers wet with his own blood. The scar extended from jaw to eye, glistening. A guttural hiss escaped his throat. "I claim Lucas because you are too weak." "No," I yelled, backing away. "No." The transformation finished. Gavin lunged towards us, knocking Steph and Jack and Edmund aside. With one swipe of his head, Gavin batted Cory aside and slowly padded to me. I backed away, but Gavin would not have it. He lunged again, his head hitting my abdomen, knocking the breath from me. I fell beneath him. His hot, foul breath was inches from my face. He licked me with his rough tongue, slowly dragging it across my face. His teeth circled my neck, scraping flesh. "Cory," I screamed. Gavin let go and howled in triumph. Cory stood, eyes silver, hands hardening into fists. "Get away from my boyfriend." The muscles rippled across his clothes, his arms lengthened as did his legs. He grew taller, the silver in his eyes grew stronger. A low animal growl escaped his jaws as they lengthened. His ears shifted, changed, became pointed. The bones across his chest warped, cracked, his spine stretched as he grew taller. Cory ripped through his clothes, growling, growling, snarling. His growl was different than Gavin's, deeper, more menacing. A wild dog cornered and fighting back. Saliva foamed at his jaws, and he stepped out of the remains of his clothes, his fur almost glowing, even in the day, a light gray silver just shy of white. The snarl that came from Cory's throat chilled my soul. Did Cory still exist in there? "Damn," Edmund said. The rage. "Cory, control yourself." "Get the gun," Steph screamed. "Cory, settle down," I yelled. Gavin looked up and saw the immense wolf behind him. God, Cory was 2 handspans taller. His eyes blazed like twin full moons. The snarl turned into a growl that must have been pure hate. Then he lunged. He grabbed Gavin by the throat and threw him. Gavin hit the railing, broke through it, and landed in the yard, and rolled. Cory didn't hesitate. He bounded after Gavin, jaws wide, spittle flying. "We'll need more than 3 tranks," Steph said. "We might need the wolfsbane." "That could kill him," Jack said. Cory picked up Gavin in his jaws and threw him again, like a dog with a toy. Gavin yelped, landed on his feet, and faced Cory. Blood was on his neck. Edmund shifted through his clothes, a huge black wolf, almost as big as Cory. He wouldn't stand a chance either. Cory ran at Gavin, barking, growling. God, his transformation wasn't done. His claws, black as coal, grew and curled into wicked things. His jaw finally lengthened, his teeth sharp and as long as my fingers, glinted in the light. They dripped Gavin's blood. Jack tore off his clothes and shifted into a smaller gray wolf. He jumped over the railing and ran after Edmund. "Cory," I yelled. The madness must have taken him, like last month. "What do I do?" Steph returned with the gun and fumbled with the cartridges. "Cory's going to kill Gavin." "Cory, stop," I yelled. Somehow, I got to my feet and froze. Steph took aim at my boyfriend and fired. "No," I screamed. Cory had Gavin's head in his massive jaws, growling, his shoulder fur dented as the trank hit. Startled, he dropped Gavin. He noticed the other wolves and gave a low growl that sent shivers through my heart. "Cory," I yelled, but it wasn't Cory anymore. The moon had stolen his soul. The dark gray wolf had bite marks across its head. Gavin bled, leaving tracks in the ground. Cory had a few scratches about his jaw, but was otherwise unharmed. His silver eyes narrowed. The black wolf circled, snarling. The smaller gray wolf jumped at the huge silver wolf. Cory knocked him aside with a simple swing of his head. Something fell from Cory's shoulder. The trank. It never penetrated the fur. "Steph, fire again," I yelled. Cory lowered his head. Silver eyes locked on mine. They blazed. It wasn't Cory behind those eyes. Gavin jumped and tried to bite Cory's neck. but 2 of his teeth had broken somehow during the fight. He couldn't grip. The black wolf jumped, taking Cory by the shoulder, his teeth ripping a long gouge in the flesh. Cory's blood ran down his foreleg, and he turned to face the black wolf. He barked, long, filled with fury, a rabid dog that could not be stopped. The smaller, light gray wolf ripped one of Cory's legs, but Cory shook him off. The great silver wolf stepped toward Gavin, who shifted from wolf to human, his mouth bleeding, a dozen cuts on his face. "Mercy, I yield, I yield, I yield." Cory took a slow step toward Gavin, growling. His mind is lost to the wolf. The moon has won. I leaped over the railing and ran past the black wolf and the light gray one. "Cory, you're not a murderer." The 2 wolves yelped in surprise as I shot past them. To Cory, "Lucas, you fool," Steph screamed. "Get away." I placed myself between Gavin and the silver wolf and stared into those moon-cursed eyes, into the silver, past the silver. I had to find Cory. "Cory, listen," I said. "Don't let the moon win. Remember the roller coaster. Remember protecting me." The giant wolf paused. "Remember all our dates," I said. "Remember the first time we kissed? We were 300 feet up, could see for miles. You planned it. Remember?" My silver wolf sat. I inched a little closer. "We watched the dawn the next day, remember? You and me and the handcuffs? You beat Gavin. You won. He yielded. He's the pup now. Gavin, tell him." Gavin didn't say anything. The large black wolf growled. "I'm the pup," Gavin squealed, "not you. I yield. Don't kill me, please." "See," I said, "you've won. You're not the pup. He is. Come back to me. Run back to me. Let the wolf go. Don't let the moon win. We're safe again." Cory howled, long, strong, mournful. A cry of infinite solitude. It broke my heart. I reached out to his muzzle, gently touched it, found his ears, tickled them. I knelt, making sure my head was lower than his, and wrapped my arms about him. "You're safe. I'm safe. You're with friends. I love you, and together we'll fight the moon." Bones crunched, shortened. The silver faded in his eyes. He was Cory again. He held me, panting, wet with sweat and blood. I pulled his head to my shoulder. "I've got you." "Lucas," he said. "We fought the moon and won," I whispered. "Do you remember any of it?" He nodded, then collapsed in my arms, unconscious. 2 hours later, we sat on the couches in the huge stone living room, a fire in the fireplace, the lights kept low. The light of the full moon shone through the windows, but inside, the fire crackled, coffee scented the air, and 3 wolves softly snored. Cory was the silver wolf again. His head lay calmly in my lap. We sat on the couch, my hand gently stroking the silver fur. Cory slept. Across from me sat Steph, the large black wolf asleep next to her, his head in her lap. She clicked her needles together, knitting something. A woman drove in from the city, Miranda, and sat with the smaller, light gray wolf. She had a book, but she didn't read it. She stroked the head and ears of the small wolf, just like I did for Cory. Down in the basement, another wolf howled, but his cries were muffled by the stone floors. Gavin had gone into one of the many cages. He didn't have a mate to sit with him. "Lucas," Steph said, softly. "The moon-cursed may seem overwhelmingly powerful at times, but they cannot survive without their mates." "Wolves mate for life," Miranda said. "Werewolves have to mate for life. You won't believe this, but in our quiet, patient way, we are more powerful than the wolf." "Why?" I asked, keeping my voice low so I wouldn't wake Cory. The scratches and cuts and bites from the afternoon had faded. He wasn't bound by handcuffs this time. Steph adjusted position, and the black wolf whined a little. "You're Cory, my Edmund, Miranda's Jack, even Gavin. For all their power and fury, they can't fight the moon. We have to do that for them." "Welcome to the family," Miranda said. "I hope you're ready for it." I ran my fingers through the soft, silky fur and lay down beside Cory, my beautiful wolf.